Hello and welcome to my review of the Barbgaunts for Tyranids for Warhammer 40,000 from the Leviathan box set from Games Workshop. Now I picked these up in the Leviathan box set itself. Now I picked these up in the £150 Leviathan box set. You can also pick them up in the Warhammer 40,000 Ultimate Starter Set for £125, or they are available separately in a kit for £27.50, which consists of 20 plastic components, and they are all easy to build, push to fit minis. The format of this review will follow as normal. We'll take a closer look at the models, look at the detail, discuss how easy they were to build. I'd normally then go through some spare parts, but because they're easy to build, there aren't any, so I'll go straight into the size comparisons, and then finally I'll go through all of their rules. So first things first, you know, they are easy to build. They were very easy to build, I found. They go together nicely. They're a kit whereby you build them and you kind of want to build more. They're just fun to build. They go together very nicely. They look pretty cool. They're on these big sort of Terminator bases. Yeah, they exceeded my expectations. The only downside, I guess, with them is the exhaust stacks. I say exhaust stacks, it's like their spines. There are a few mold lines there, but the weapon isn't too bad for mold lines, and neither are the legs and things. Absolutely fine. Also, you know, they do look very similar to each other. Of course they are, I mean they're the same unit, but you know what I mean. You know, a couple of them have these sort of scenic base type things and have their weapon firing at a different angle. But the majority have their weapons on the left side, sort of firing over them. So you see there's not much difference in between both of those. And likewise with that one. They're similar looking, and also I do find it odd that they've only got 3 legs rather than 4. You know, you'd think 4 would be better for stability and things. It's not like the leg at the front is central or anything. It just looks like if you took out the front right leg, which they all have, they'd sort of topple over. But hey, that's just something I've picked up. So yeah, they're, you know, nice to build. So yeah, they're nice to build. I'm not sure whether I'd get any more of these, especially not the extra kit, unless I was building a force around them. So no spare parts, but at least I can show you some size comparisons. So of course, you know, next to the Neurogaunts, which are tiny, you know, these Barbgaunts are much bigger than I expected. So there they are. I can't show you them next to the Hormagaunts because they're not released yet, unfortunately. Yeah, these Barbgaunts are probably one of the larger models in your set. You know, compared to the Von Ryan's Leapers. You know, they're on the same size bases, but I'd say the Leapers are bigger and they're taller. And then compared to the Termagants, they're a fair bit bigger than the Termagants as well. So compared to the Prime, doing a Prime right here, you know, they're obviously not as big, but they definitely hold their own next to the Prime, you know. Just leading them, that looks fine. Also the Screamer Killer is huge next to them, but again, you have like 10 of these surrounding the Screamer Killer. That's going to provide ample cover for it. And then some Space Marine comparisons of the set. So we've got the Terminator Captain and the Terminator right here. So Terminators are bigger, bulkier, they're on the same size bases though. And compared to like a normal Intercessor, I say a normal one, this is a Stern Guard, isn't it? But they're kind of like taller with their spine than the Intercessors. So there is that. And then last comparisons I always like to make just with the three minis from 40k. Got a Neurogaunt try and join us there. So yeah, Standard Space Marine right there. So Barbguants are bigger, obviously bigger than Slime Marbo. And then an Intercessor, again just a little bit bigger than an Intercessor, so you know if you're going up against Intercessors they're going to be relatively similar size. Okay, so this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for the Barbgaunts. You'll find their rules in the Warhammer 40,000 app because the codex is not yet released. The unit composition, you can have between 5 and 10, and for 5 of them it will cost you 50 points, for 10 of them, well 6 to 10, it will cost you 100 points. Every model is equipped with a biocannon, Xenos claws and teeth. So their stat line reads, they're a movement of 6 inches, toughness of 4, save of 4+, 2 wounds, leadership 8+, and objective control 1. That's not too bad, you know, they've got 2 wounds each, they've got the 4+ save. The main reason you get them is their biocannons. The biocannons are a range of 24 inches, they have D6 shots, so, you know, take that as you will. You know, you could get 30 shots, or you could get 5. A ballistic skill is 4+, strength is 5, AP 0, damage 1. That's not the best, you know. It's an alright strength, but with no AP and no damage. They are blast weapons though, so they make a random number of attacks, and you add 1 to the result for every 5 models that were in the target unit when you selected it as the target, rounding down. And of course blast weapons can be used to make attacks against a unit that was within engagement range. They're also heavy weapons, so that means that if they remain stationary that turn you add 1 to the attack's hit roll, so that's, you know, hitting on 3+, quite nice. Melee weapons, they're Xenos claws and teeth, they get 1 attack, weapon skill 4+, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1, that's awful. They've also got some abilities, so they've got the normal Synapse ability. A Tyranids unit from your army is within 6 inches of 1 or more Synapse models from your army. That unit is said to be within Synapse range of your army. And whenever they take a battle shock test, they take it on a 3d6 instead of a 2d6. Their specific datasheet ability though is called Disruption Bombardment. In your shooting phase after this unit has shot, select 1 enemy infantry unit hit by 1 or more of those attacks made by this unit's biocannons. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, that enemy unit is disrupted. While a unit is disrupted, subtract 2 from its move characteristic and subtract 2 from advance and charge rolls made for it. So if you're going to have to be within 24 inches to start off with against another unit, but I think that's quite nice that you're subtracting 2 from the movement characteristic. All of a sudden Space Marine's moving sort of 6 inches and now moving 4 inches. So, you know, over 2 turns they're moving 8 inches as opposed to, you know, 12, which is quite considerable. And especially with the charge rolls as well. So if you want to slow any units down, you know, these would be pretty good. Their keywords: infantry, great devourer, Barbgaunts. So there you go, that is the Barbgaunts. They're slow moving, they have a 50-50 chance of surviving, they've got to 2 wounds, their biocannons have a 50-50 chance of hitting, but you know, better chance if they stay stationary, but they are only 24-inch range and are blast weapons. The main reason you get them is to slow other units down in your enemy force. What do you guys think of the Barbgaunts? Do you like the models? What do you think of the rules? For me, it would have been nice to have them as 36-inch, potentially an AP -1 or 2 even, just to give them a bit more bite, but please do put your thoughts below. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching. For the Norn Queen.